Hi chaps, SimOP here from Beard, Biceps and Batchat. Today I'm bringing you a Tier 7 replay on Westfield alongside Chalky Boy and Siddies in our Tiger platoon, or Hammer Time platoon almost, minus Siddy and his 131. Now, the reason I wanted to show you this replay rather than a couple of others I have, which is just general team, replays with 5,000-6,000 damage, I thought this would be useful as a sort of talking point. So most maps have a couple of hotspots where the engagements are. On Westfield, for example, down the zero line is mostly mediums, maybe a TD. Where we're heading, or should be heading, is the next spot along C3, which is a group of hills. Generally heavies go there. You have TDs either side of the hill putting shots in. This is, on this map, the main hotspot. The zero line is more of a warm spot more than anything else. Now, as you've noticed, our team has decided, heavies included, don't worry about the hill, we'll leave that, we'll go down the zero line, we'll form our lemming train and just puff our way to victory. So they'll be huffing and puffing all the way down, hopefully trying to encounter the enemy team's lemming train. So this leaves us in a bit of a predicament. As we get to the top of the hill, we can't push to where we normally would to, along the ridge line in front of us. Now the reason for that is there's a lot of dips and slopes on the hill where it's quite easy for people to outflank you. Now the Tiger's strength isn't in its armour, it's in its gun. It's got great reload, great aim time, great pen, decent alpha damage. So us advancing to there with so few tanks, where we're expecting the main enemy advance to come through, just be suicidal to the point we'll get overrun quickly, that flank will fall and they'll just push on and sweep us. Now, being the clever chaps that we are, we've decided that we're going to hold here, use this ridge line to try and get hold down as much as possible and to get shots into the enemy as they crest the ridge. We've got a TD behind us, one of the other chaps in the medium is moving up down the A line to help provide some crossfire. So we've got shots coming from two directions. The directional difference is big enough where at least one of us should be getting a flanking shot, hopefully. Now, we fully expect to die here if the main push comes through. All we're literally trying to do is just to stem it as long as possible so that our lemming train can push through and sweep round, or at the very least come across the bridge with the mediums and trying to catch them in a pincer movement. So I suppose the best way to describe it is we're trying to be an anvil and hope a hammer appears. But as we've all seen on World of Tanks in these random games, that's a 50-50 chance if it happens or not. So we're all lined up. We've got a couple of them spotted. IS-2, there's T-34, A5, there's a hammer, charioteer, and a panther on the left-hand side as well. So quite a lot of their nasty, top-tier heavies are on our side, as we expected. So we're literally just trading back and forth, trying to conserve as much HP as possible, and just to slow them down so they don't steamroll us. Now, if you look on the other side of the map, down the 9-0 line, our boys are doing fairly well. They've got an isolated medium that they're all picking on and bullying, and one heavy as well. So it looks like they're holding their side pretty well. So what we've got to do is just to make sure we can keep them pinned back, just to make sure they can't, that T-34-85 can't crest that ridge, and we've got to make sure the hammer and charioteer, the IS-2, can't push on us. So at this point I'm telling Siddy, look, pull back mate, we need your gun in the fight rather than you dying. So he's looking to relocate to the other side of Chalky Boy, and to use the Yag Tiger to our right as a meat shield is what I'm telling him. Don't worry about it, it'll be fine, it'll be good. So our guys are doing quite well at the minute. We've got a good advantage on numbers. We're only down one TD, we've taken out 5 of their tanks, they've cleared up the left hand side, and we're holding okay. We've lost quite a lot of HP here. Siddy's a one hit, he goes, poor bugger. It'll take 2 or 3 hits to kill me. So now Siddy's dead, what I'm doing rather than staying overexposed is I'm going to be using Siddy's carcass to shield me. Just get some shots into that IS-2 just to keep his head down. Realistically, at this point, they should be pushing on us quite aggressively. We've got a couple of guns left that can do some damage to them, but as you can see, going across the bridge, we have two mediums coming over. Our reinforcements are coming. This is our hammer onto our anvil, I hope anyway. So they should be pushing a lot more aggressively, not getting bogged down in sort of turret sniping. It's better for us if they stay doing that, but they had the hit points, they had the armour. They've got a couple of good positions for the Panther to my left, which is why I'm having to use Siddy's carcass to protect me from him. The 3485 is looking to join him, but again, we're not going to get over aggressive here and push into the town. There's no point. I'm being spotted at the moment and not being able to see what's spotting me, so that tells me it's probably the charioteer with binos or optics on top of the hill. I'm not sure why he's taking shots at me, because I'm fairly confident that's where it's coming from. The boys on my left can't see me, it can't be them spotting me. Chalky Boy telling me he's getting spotted as well, and he's taking shots from it. So I'm assuming the hammer must be with the charioteer as well. But again, we're just going to keep playing fairly passively, just trading our hit points for time. We need time for those two mediums to pull round, just so they can either distract them or go around the back of the town, back of the hills, and get some shots into them, so then we can actually start our advance. Now again, you'll see I'm keeping mobile back and forth. The reason for that is, obviously, I know the hammer and charioteer are still out there, quite happy, just waiting for an opportunity just to ping my turret. So I'm just trying to make sure they don't have a clear shot, or if they do, aim time's going to throw them off, or my slight movements are going to throw them off. Now this is the point that we were waiting for, our mediums to come over, like the charioteer and the hammer. We know where they are. Now we can have a discussion. Is this the point we want to start pushing? So I'll try and get some shots into the charioteer. Am I going to get him? No, I doubt I will. I know what my aim is like. Oh no, there we go. So we need to decide, is this the point we start pushing? Have our mediums gotten bogged down enough where they can't advance? The hammer's still quite keen to keep getting shots on me, but I'm just going to keep going back and forth. Hopefully keep his turret turned towards me so our mediums can push up unmolested. Obviously Chalky Boy's pushed right to the top of the ridge. He wasn't waiting around for me to finish messing around with the other hammer. But for his troubles he gets taken out. Now realistically, the other medium that's loitering on C4, he should be pushing with the medium we've got in C3 going up to B3. The Boilmaker's being left with his arse hanging out, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to look to do is to push, use the IS-2 as cover if they happen to come round before I'm in position. The other medium's coming round, he's got the right idea, he's going to go around the bottom of the hill to the right. What we need is the Boilmaker to push at the same time, so their turrets are facing one way or the other, and the other one get one, maybe two shots in, while the guy who is being faced by the enemy tanks gets one shot in, pulls back, loses a bit of HP. So it should work out, we get 3-4 shots into their 2 shots. So again, put some shots into the hammer, start pulling back, and this is when I realise that charioteer is coming for me. Put the shot in, but he takes me out. But hopefully this highlights the point I was trying to make, holding a weak flank.